Forgiveness. Seems like forgiving humans is one of those dog things we're all supposed to do, like having zoomies or doing bed boogies. It's written in our canine souls. Well, somehow I didn't get that memo. The one that apparently went out to every other dog on the planet about forgiveness. Why should I forgive the humans who tossed me and my siblings out into the night? When you forgive, you lose your anger. And when you lose your anger, you get weak. And when you're weak, you get hurt all over again. The art of human watching. By the time we reach the park, the sky is definitely in a bad mood. Gray clouds galloping like panicked horses. The nervous scent of rain on the way, and the kind that makes you want antsy in your own skin. When we get near the employee entrance, I hop onto Julia's backpack like always. We enter through the special gate where George shows his ID and checks in, and he says hi to the staff. Pet dogs aren't allowed in the park. Natch, foxes, wolves, jackals, my dog cousins, they are. But in my opinion, even though they're technically part of my extended family, they're nothing like dogs. Only dogs have preferred the art of human watching. The smartest thing I ever did was figure out how important the human gaze is. So often, when we follow our owners and watch their eyes, rewarded with something amazing. A smelly sock, a glazed donut that has fallen on a smelly rock or sock. We follow every blink, every sidelong glance. We see it whatever it is before the humans do. We understand before the humans do. And if it's a glazed donut to be involved, we eat it before they do. Puppy eyes. It's mid-morning. Still pretty early. There aren't many visitors around yet. We've got a meeting in 20, George yells at a couple workers, Hank and Sonia, who groan. Just a quick one. Going over the contingency plans one last time in case there's any flooding. During the last hurricane, a small part of the park flooded, mostly near Reptile Village. George helped move cages. He came home smelling like cottonmouths and copperheads. It was all I could do not to barf. Weather Service has just issued tornado watch, Hank says. I thought we were having a hurricane, says Julia. We are, Gus. But sometimes tornadoes are spawned during hurricanes, George explains. Julia frowns. But a watch means maybe. Not for sure, right? Yeah, but I want you to head home, George says, just in case. Please, Dad, just 10 minutes, Julia says. She's using that special voice she reserves for moments when she really, really wants something from her parents. I guess kids manipulate their moms and dads the same way a dog manipulates their humans. Oh, I don't know, George begins. I promised Bob. I figured that my cue to pop my head out and look adorable, so I did. Hey, Bob, says Hank and Sonia, and they reach it over and they scratch my ears. I'm pretty popular at the park. I give George my best puppy dog eyes, and he caves. 10 minutes tops, he says. Meet me back here. Puppy eyes. It works every time. Mr. Oog. Here's how I figure puppy eyes got their start. Cave humans were sitting around a fire wearing mammoth fur and grunting about where they were nothing to eat or nothing on TV because TVs haven't been invented yet. And some wily wolf thought, whoa, they've got leftover mammoth meat. And probably whimpered and cowered and did a tummy display and looked pathetic enough that Mr. Oog finally tossed them a bone. And soon enough, a few zillion years later, voila, man's best friend. After all that time, there's a thing, like a magnetic attraction between dogs and humans. They've studied them for so long. We can read every twitch, we can read every sigh. Suppose it was easier than chasing down the mammoths ourselves. And I get it, I do. The behind the ear scratch, the food, the fancy bowl, the bed by the fireplace. Gotta admit, Julia's pretty fun to hang out with. And I'm grateful, really grateful I am, that her family took me in. Still, I don't need them. You need someone eventually. They let you down. Or they end up feeling like a real doofus, then they leave. The park. Julie walks. I sneak peeks of her backpack like I always do, and we pass the meerkat family poking out from their den holes like a whack-a-mole game they used to have at Max Mall. I see the flashy flamingos with their one-leg balancing act and the terrifying, beautiful tigers, even though the cute cubs gives me the willies. Families I've noticed take a lot of different shapes. Jim and Joe and the penguins adopted an abandoned egg, and they are the sweetest, doting parents I've ever seen. I see it with humans at the park, too. Families of all shapes and sizes, colors, genders, and yep, they all seem to do just fine. We round the corner, past the sea otter alley. Oliver and Olivia are floating calmly on their backs, holding each other's paws. It's pretty adorable, really, I have to admit. But me, I don't need the trouble that comes with a family. Babies puking, toddlers whining, spouses nagging. Talk about a design flaw, Change. Park's pretty big. Lots of twisty paths, fascinating smells. All the pets have names. There's the African Aviary, the Outback, the Penguin Cove, the Muirland. It's like a puzzle pieces of the world. A little Africa here, a little Asia over there. Dogs, you can find us pretty much everywhere. Our territory is Earth. And as long as we've hooked up with humans, that it is. Along the shady paths, volunteer guides will answer your questions. They'll tell you about how animals roam one part of the world or another until things change. Things changed. That's one thing I figured out. Don't ever assume a little patch of the planet belongs to you. Things change. Boxes go flying. My inner wolf. On our way, we always stop at the wolf habitat. Julie loves wolves, probably because they remind her of me. You have to look hard, maybe squint a little, but if you really try, you can catch a hint of my inner self. It's in the eyes, mostly. Almost in a distinguished profile. I dream I'm a wolf sometimes. When I wake up, I'm panting and my fur is on alert, and I'm feeling, yeah. The world could hurt me, but I could hurt the world right back. Even harder. Like there's a dangerous, hard part of me, chained inside, struggling to go free and just, get even. Then I go see what's for breakfast.